Alright friends, this is Ashton McCloud. I am going to just give you a quick little brief summary of Gems of War. I use it myself just a little bit. Mine will look a little bit different than yours just because I'm over level 1000 and I've been playing the game for forever. So you're not going to have all this chaos right from the get-go. But, the short version, like these are all your kingdoms, and you don't start out with this many. You start out at Broken Spire here, then you work your way to like Adana, Karakoth, Zul'Kari, you know, Divinian Field. You kind of work your way up. So it's not like you, oh my God, what do I do with all this? So it's not, you know, like that. Each kingdom has a quest. I cannot do the quests anymore because I've already completed all the quests. Yeah, there's also like weekly events and stuff that, you know, your campaign and dailies and faction assault, you know. But you won't have all that from the get-go. I will touch on real quick, there is the factions down here, which there's a faction with each kingdom. So these are basically just kingdoms with their own, you know, quest, which the quest is complete on that one. Quest is complete on that one. So yeah, a lot of these, I'm sure I've got all the quests complete down here as well. But you'll start in Crystarea for the starters. Broken Spire would be what you click on. I'm going to do Explore because I can't do Quest. I'm not going to set it to difficulty 12. I'm just going to set it to difficulty 1 to give you guys the basics. Let me find... Yeah, and you can like make your own teams and whatnot, but we'll cover that in just a minute. So like, you know, edit team, you know, you've got all these troops to select from. You don't get all these from the get-go. You know, some of these you have to craft, some of these you have to get keys to open chests to get some of these, you know, stuff like that. Actually, there's one right there. I can ascend my troop. So, I will explain all that later. I just wanted to, you know, quickly touch base. I mean, and let's see. And that's just all the dragons. If we just clear all the filters, and you know, these do start in alphabetical order by default. But I mean, if you're looking for any particular troop, like if I just search Goblin, oh boom, this will give me all the troops that have something to do with Goblin. And you can, I mean, specify by troop type, which is easier. Specify by kingdom. How, you know, what, you know, you can kind of do all that. But I just wanted to touch base with you on that. So, to give you a more accurate representation, because I'm at the point where I can, you know, wipe through a team like, you know, this. I mean, it's got 8 attack, 2 armor, 11 health. You know, similar. You know, like I could wipe through a team and like that with 1 turn. And even this team, which is like, it's not. I don't remember what exactly you get for the first team, but this is pretty close. You get a Goblin within the first couple quests, the Warhound soon after. Maybe you start with a Silver Drakon. I'm not sure, but even with just those basic, you know, troops. You know, you don't start out doing this kind of damage. Like 43 damage to an enemy. You don't start out at that. You also don't start with these traits either. I've just played so long, most of my troops are leveled up, upgraded, etc. They're all level 20. That's why, you know, like this is their magic stat. That's why that's so high. But we're going to the battle. Alright, now here's where your match 3 comes into play. As you can tell, like this Goblin, he needs green mana. This Warhound, green or yellow mana. Silver Drakon, purple. And then my hero, which you can customize the name and the appearance of that and all that. I like the Wargear, which, no surprise there. I got little Lupine there. It's also a pet, that's its own thing. But, you know, so you just match gems. And You know, I'm sure, and like I said, I've got masteries, so I will get more than what you will get from the start. You know, like yeah, Nature Link. This guy's got a trait where he'll gain bonus mana from green gem matches, so that's why he got 4 instead of 3. Each mana gem is worth 1 point of mana, and then you know this does 23 damage to the first enemy. When you start out, you're gonna be looking at like 6 damage or 8 damage or something. Not, you know, nothing, but not as good as I've got it. Just and all that will come with time. Skulls both do damage. I should explain the stats. Let me pull up the Warhound here. Like, you know, on the far left side under the mana, I mean the shield points. That's how much armor they have. So, to get to their health points, which is represented by the little heart icon, this Warhound has 66 armor and 77 health, or hit points. So something would have to do 66 damage to him to break through the armor, and an additional 77 damage to kill him, basically. And Skulls only attack the top troop, so if I match a Skull, it's going to target this guy, who has 3 armor, 12 health, and 7 attack. That's what the little attack icon is, you know, in the, depending on which team you're looking at. Like my Warhound has 43 attack, represented by the 2 swords. All that means is how much skull damage he will do. And the only one that can do skull damage is the one in the top. Like my hero in this case does 40 skull damage. So naturally, if I hit these skulls, that will just wipe out anybody. If you manage to match 4, you get an extra turn and a little bit of gold. Gold is, yeah, or match 5, whether it's 5 in a row, a T shape, an L shape. So, and at the end of the, you know, I don't know what the most points are. No, that's something for a special weekly event. So that'll be over tomorrow. Experience, that's for your hero, gold. You can unlock and level up your kingdoms. You can use it to fight arena battles, open gold chests, and purchase resources. Souls, those are souls from your enemy. Use souls to level up your troops. You also get trait stones as well. I don't know what time you start getting those, but that's how you unlock the traits. I am going to retreat from this battle. Yeah, end the current Explore run. I just want to give you guys a little fair of a fight here. And yeah, sometimes it does that where the pictures don't load. You know. So I mean, you can look, you know, and then you have your 4 stats: your armor, your health, your attack, and your magic. So like this guy has 12 magic. So he'll do 14 damage to an enemy boosted by burning enemies. And then it says the boost ratio over here on the right. What burning does, what exploding gems does, you know, that kind of stuff. Alright, match 5. Extra turn, match 4, extra turn. So I mean, you kind of want to keep an eye out for like anywhere where you can match 4 or 5 gems. Okay, there's another match 4. Alright, any more match 4s? Don't look like it. So yeah, some troops can give you extra turns, or this, I mean, he also gains extra gold on 4 or 5 gem matches, you know, stuff like that. Alright. That was a flame gem, that'll ignite all the enemies on fire, but again, you won't start out with those dropping. The game will ease you into that. The game will give you a better tutorial than I am. I'm just giving you the basics. You know, just how the game functions, that kind of thing. Alright, I like to have that purple, but I can't do nothing with it. That's just my timer. Alright, so Warhound, eliminate 22 attack from the first enemy and explode 2 gems. There's a couple key terms, like eliminate just removes it. There is also troops out there that will steal attack, they will steal health, they will steal armor, they will steal magic. I don't know if there's anything that steals magic. I don't think there is, but maybe. So, now I've effectively nullified his attack. Let's see if we can put him in a position to get stalled. Alright, yeah, see, he did nothing because his attack's at 0. So, he can't do nothing. And yeah, he does have a trait where he'll regenerate health. You know, and that's something you can get eventually. Like, if you get that troop, you can eventually, you know, put traits on him and, you know, stuff like that. That's where the pay-to-win aspect comes in. Is like, you know, if you fork over real-world dollars, then you can, you know, buy more gold, buy more souls, buy more gems, buy more trait stones, and just accelerate faster, basically. But I mean, I just got an arcane shield trait stone, some souls, some gold, you know. So let's get out of that. Like I said, you won't have all this chaos right away. Games is where, like, your, what do you call it, your treasure hunt will be. You'll get that. Arena, there's a trial going on right now. You know, there are, like, weekly events. World Quest, that's another thing that comes up. Clash Trial, another thing. Bounty, Pet Rescue, all stuff that you will eventually get into. And then there is the shop. This is where you can fork over your real world money for your gems. I myself don't recommend it. I'm guilty of doing it, but I do not recommend it. You'll also get Spoils of War here. I would just, if you can, just buy that, because you get some event keys out of it, which are decent, and some little bit of gold and souls. Nothing, pretty much nothing here is worth buying. I mean, maybe if you need a smidgen more souls or something, you know, you could, you know, buy some of that for some glory. Don't use your gems unless absolutely necessary. The VIP thing, like I said, I am guilty of having spent real world money on this. You know, if you have to spend real world money, well, you don't have to at all. I would at least try and get to level 3, because then you get automatic free scouting, which basically just shows you what the enemy team is without you having to pay 50 gold to do so. And 50 gold is nothing, so even if you do that, big deal, you know. Daily gems, again, I won't waste my money on this. Like, here's a particular troop from this week. So, I will spend the glory so I can show you how to ascend your troops. Because basically, like, this particular thing is, I'm buying 41 copies of this Lapina Lancer. Alright, there's the Lapina Lancer. I don't know what it does, I don't really care. I mean, again, more stuff you can spend your real world money on. You do get war coins as you're completing the quests and whatnot. So you can, it'll give you like a team, and then you can like eventually upgrade them. That's the point I'm at, is they can, you know. And then there are some specials here. But Typhuna Keys, huge waste of money. Droid Bot Pet, it's just, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's cosmetic. It gives you no bonus. So, you know, I mean, if you want to, it's cosmetic. You know, it's, I wouldn't say cool, but maybe you find it cool. Okay, it's cosmetic. You know. And then, you know, a couple other things here. Lapita Avatar, Dwarf Avatar. Like, if you want to look like a rabbit or a dwarf, I mean, not worth it. All that does is just change what your appearance looks like. But, and, I mean, who cares about that? But yeah, we'll go to the chest menu. Again, I've got plenty of keys because I've been playing for forever and forever and forever. The ones that are really worth getting are the glory chest, the gem chests, and the VIP chest. The gold chest, I mean, you'll get these right from the get-go. I mean, you'll get common and rare troops, gold, gems, souls, and glory. So we'll just open 200. And you can watch it painfully do this one at a time. Just hit skip. Save yourself some trouble. And, you know, I already have all these troops because these are all commons and rares. And then you also do, like I said, get some trait stones out of that. Some gold, some souls. Got 6 gems, you know, not horrible. But the troops have tiers. And, you know, I mean, there's common, rare, ultra rare, epic, legendary, and mythic as far as troops go. And, you know, the way to tell the difference between like common and rare is when you open a bunch of chests like this, it will always put the highest rarity troops first. Like all these ones in green, these are all rare troops, at least on the tier list. They're actually fairly common. But, you know, then here's all the common troops. But if we, like this, these glory chests, I'll only get rare or better. So there will be no common troops. So if we open some of these, skip that, and look at that, I got some new troops actually. But it'll always give you the new troops on top. This Abagania or whatever, that's a legendary troop, which we'll talk about that later. Yeah. You know, these are epic troops, the ones in purple, ultra rare troops, the ones in blue, then your rare troops down here. And even when I scroll all the way to the bottom, you will see there is no common troops. There's none of the ones in white. Because basically the better of a chest you open, you know, and these gem chests, ultra rare or better. We'll open some of those. You know, again, got some new troops. A legendary bone dragon, a couple ultra rares or epics, or I forget what the, you know, and you know, the ultra rare troops in blue, and then nothing else. You know, none of them green or white troops. And epic or better, you know, don't have very many of these, but you know, I'll open some. Just because these are the VIP keys, these are super hard to get without buying them, and they're not worth buying. As you can see, legendary and epic is the only thing in here. Nothing else. A couple of new troops. So alright. And then there are event chests, which will only give you troops from a specific kingdom. Like this week's is Pan's Vale troops. Any troops in Pan's Vale is the only thing you're gonna get from me. So, you know, if you're looking to beef up Pan's Vale or whatever, okay, open some of these, get some troops from that kingdom. But hey, if you're like, hey, I've already got all the troops from Pan's Vale, just save your keys. Just don't waste your time with it. And again, advertising. Pan's Vale. You know, let's go to the collection. We'll filter kingdom. We'll go to Pan's Vale for troops. Pan's Vale, Pan's Vale. There it is. Right, and then we will, let's see, sort by base rarity. And this will put all your mythics on top, and then you'll work your way down. So if I were to open event keys this week, and then let us show all, just in case there's something I don't have. You know, like, you know, some of this stuff, you know, like the Wild Queen, I believe you gotta craft. I think you gotta craft that as well. That's actually new. I don't know what that is. You know. Another one. But yeah, like, you know, these troops here is all that you're gonna get from event keys. Alright, and here's that Lapina Lancer I was telling you about. We'll go to more upgrades. So yeah, I mean, here's the traits tab, you know, where you can give this one traits, which will, you know, all allied wild folk gain 2 armor at the start of battle. Fast, this one starts battle with 50% mana, which I want to say she needs 12, so she would start with 6 mana, so I'd be halfway there. And agile, if she's at the top, there's a 20% chance where she'll dodge skull damage, meaning she won't take any damage. So, and then it gives you a list of what the trait stones are. Like this one, you can click on it, it'll tell you all the kingdoms you can get it from. Or, like this rare one, if I want Arcane Beast, I gotta go to Wild Plains. You can do the quests, you can do the explore, you can, whatever, as long as it's in Wild Plains, you have a chance at getting Arcane Beast trait stones. So we will upgrade, we'll just give her all the traits just from the get-go, because I have the trait stones for that. And then here's the Ascension page. Now, I purchased enough to get her up to Mythic right from the get-go. As you can see, by default, she has 43 attack, and this will be lower for you at the start, of course, because you don't have the VIP level I do. Eats grass and kicks ass. I kind of like that. Yeah, each troop has a little description too. But yeah, 43 attack, 73 health, 66 armor, and 28 magic. Well, if we ascend her to Epic, 44, 74, 66, 28. So it went up, a couple things went up a little bit. Legendary. But what this does is this takes extra copies. Like right now it says we have 25 extras. So if we wanted to right now, we could have a full team of just this troop. Would not recommend it, but you know, it's a thing. Again, went up a little bit. Another point of armor, which, you know, but the other thing what this does is now that we've got her up to Mythic. Oh, where is it? How do you level up? Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. I forgot how to level up. I haven't actually done this in so long. And also, there is, yeah, because you sacrifice extra copies to ascend troops. Ascension increases maximum level and gives a skill boost. And you can disenchant all extra troops, and that'll disenchant all the extra copies of Mythic troops. So it won't be all your extras. It'll just be all the ones you've already got the highest rarity of Mythic. Yeah, and then there's the skills, you know, because like, you know, 78 life, it breaks it down, like, she has 4 for a base skill, plus 7 for her current level. And I got kingdom bonuses and ascension bonuses. Actually, so yeah, that does factor in. So the ascension from us ascending her gave her an extra 4 health, 2 armor, and 3 attack. So, you know, not too bad. Renown, that's an Underworld thing. You know, you can look up other videos on that. Since I can't find out, how do you... Alright, I'm going to use an Orb of Growth, because I can't... Normally you would spend the souls, but I can't actually find that option for some reason. So, yeah. Level up. And that also increases the skills. So we'll go away with that. So yeah, now she's got, you know, more attack, up to 55, 73, 89, and 32 for magic. So, you know. Ah, here we go. Like on this Fallen Satyr, here's the level up page. And, you know, since I've got VIP, all my new troops start at level 15. All of your troops will start at level 1. You know, so for 400 souls, I can level him up to level 16. And then I should have let that stay 450. We'll go up to level 17. an extra attack, 2 extra armor, and extra health. You know, and you can just upgrade them to the maximum, but every troop can go up to level 15, and then Ascensions will let you get 16 with rare troops, 17 for, what the hell is it, ultra rare, then 17 for, I think it's epic, then 19 for legendary, and then 20 for mythic. I forget what it is, but if we just level him up to the maximum, you know, it just gives him a bunch of extra stats. Now he's level 20, so that's how you do that. You don't have to go to the menu. And like this Piper here, I've got underneath it says I got 46 copies. So I could, you know, if I click on him, go to more upgrades, disenchant. You know, I can, you know, click on, like if I want to sell 10 copies, I can get 100 souls out of it. Never, never, ever disenchant your troops like that unless they are mythic. So like you see where it says current rarity mythic. If it does not say that, do not disenchant the extra troops. Do not, because otherwise you will be screwed. Now like her, you know, like see, it says her current rarity is rare. And it gives you a warning. Warning, this troop is not fully ascended yet. Extra cards may be required for ascension. So I can still go here. I can sell the extra 5 copies I have and get 50 souls, but then I can't ascend her anymore because to go from rare to ultra rare, I need 5 copies, as it says here. Base rarity rare, you have 5 extras. It costs 5 extras to go to ultra rare. So I can, you know, upgrade her. And now with her, if I go to level up, she can only go to level 17. Ascend this troop to reach higher levels. So I can't, you know, I can go to level 17, that's it. Until I get more copies to level her up to 18, 19, and then 20. But, however, it won't stop you from giving her traits. So you can still do that. And yeah, I know this probably looks like a lot of, you know, shenanigans. And it doesn't start out like this. Like, you will get a couple of troops, you know, you make a couple teams, you know, kind of figure it out. It starts slow and simple. The game gives you plenty of tutorial. You know. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for the basics. I mean, there is a... I can get that out of here to click on PvP. The PvP thing is radically different in the way it used to be, like the old way. But, you know, there's different kingdom equivalents. You know, some people chase this little thing because you get like 20% bonus or something. I forget exactly what. But yeah, like, you know, each of these has like region restrictions. Like, you know, this one for Ancient Cat, the weekly restriction is Dragon's Claw. It's got to be a troop from the Kingdom of Dragon's Claw. And Dragon Gems, which I don't know what that actually means. Alright, so yeah, so this will give me like teams that I can fight here. And basically it tells you how much gold, glory, trophies, and I want to say that's like the PvP, what do you call it, like level up points or whatever. But I mean, the level of your opponent doesn't matter so much. Just like the number to the left of it, that, you know, that 9,800 and whatever. You know, basically that just gives you an idea of how tough, strong that team is. So you'd ideally want to match that or beat it. That doesn't guarantee that you will win if you beat it, and it doesn't guarantee that you'll lose if you don't, because sometimes because this isn't like me actually like 1v1ing another live player. The AI plays in the place of him, and maybe it makes a mistake, maybe you make a mistake, maybe the gems just don't fall in your favor. So we'll suggest a team. into this PvP battle. Yeah, and then there are ravens that the game will explain more of that in greater detail. But yeah, I think it's just their way of, because what was happening in the past is people would find super overpowered teams for PvP, and then that would be like the only thing that anyone would ever use, and well, the devs didn't like that. So alright, so let's see. And there are columns and rolls. Like this one, destroy a column, give all dragon allies 39 attack and armor boosted by yellow gems. Columns are vertical, rolls are horizontal. The X shape is literally an X shape. Squares like 3x3 blocks or 3x3 blocks, you know, stuff like that. So destroy a column boosted by yellow gems. So you want to pick the vertical pillar with the most, so we'll pick that one. Just to maximize on the little bit of boosting we get. Alright, so that's 5 there. And you can drop the 4 bangers into each other like I just did. So you can still get an extra turn. 41 damage to enemy with 13 more. Okay, so that one. Yellow. Like this one has a trait of Stone Skin, reduce damage by falls by 50%. So that 26 is cut in half, as long as my traits are that. Alright, that's cool. 41 damage to that. Yeah, some troops can also summon other troops, like this one summons a baby dragon. So ideally you'd want to take those out. Some troops, like the Dragon Egg, can summon troops when they die, or when an ally dies. You know, that is something. It is fast-paced. I do not, like, I know the gems are moving quite a bit. It does not start out that fast. It starts out a lot slower where you can actually see everything. Alright, perfect. So yeah, victory. Then it gives us a sum of what we got from that battle. Alright. And then it tells you how, you know, like which troop did, you know, the best and stuff like that. You can also honor people, which gives them a little bit of, a bit of a reputation boost almost. You know, helpful, fun, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, it just tells you, like, the MVP was a Dragatar and it's 140 or more attack to allies. So, but yeah, let us go into settings. Where is settings? Alright, and click that, I'll get you right back to the main screen. Where is my battle time? Okay, now that I figured it out, there's a little tab here where you could switch your calendar. That'll show you. Whoop. Guild, I don't want that. Calendar, you know. I've missed so many days in June that all I'll get is the day 3, because there's only one day left in June. So missing a day on this won't prevent you from, you know, resetting. It just will prevent you from getting later prizes. Like everything else down there, 3 out, I can't get no more. 7 day. thing. So yeah, settings. Yeah, animation speed. That's what I'm looking for. It starts out with 1 by default. I mean, there's graphics too. Like, I myself would recommend putting the graphics on low. But like, if you put it on like super high, then the game, you know, usually has trouble loading and rendering and stuff like that. Usually, not always. I will show you one battle with the slower animations, and like as you can see, everything's a lot slower. You know, it goes step by step. This is how it is by default. This is what you will start out with. Just this way, then you can actually see how things fall, how things are working. Just so that you can get an idea of how the game actually works. Like, there the AI could have had a 4-banger, chose not to, don't know why.
Mana Surge. Mana Surge.
And it's just one of those things where and, I mean, for me, like I said, this is unbearably slow. But this is, you know, how it is by default, so then you guys can wrap your brains around what's going on. Eventually, you will want to speed it up just to save yourself some time in the real world. Like I was with all the other battles with zip, 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 bang, 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 everything got.
Mana Surge.
And nobody got time to wait for this crap. Yeah, I'm going to back out of this battle just because we're waiting for that. But yeah. So yeah, you just go to settings. It's under general animation speed. I mean, you don't have to go all the way from 1 to 4. You can go like 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 or something to. If you want to find your invite code, this is also how you do that. Like, to invite me to a guild, you would need to invite Ashton_Q6JP. Change it into a different language: English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Russian, and I'm guessing Chinese or something. This is where your account is, where you can, you know, do your password. If you register your account, you can play the same profile across multiple devices. And, you know, help with terms of service and guidelines and all that crap. All that legal crap nobody reads. I mean, you can turn off what you get alerts for in-game. There's also festival themes and stuff. If you want to save the game loading later, you can download all the assets now and then you'll be good. But yeah. Alright, there we go. Now it's a bit lower. Yeah, sometimes that comes up too. Yeah, your daily tasks, like just little battles, like you get souls, stuff like that. There's a challenge for destroying ice crystals. I think this is for, yeah, complete the free daily tasks and the plunder. So if I complete these 3 battles, I'll be good. So, yeah, I have to restart the game to get rid of that. Kill 100 troops to get 20 gems. Just, you know, little simple tasks like that, you know, no big deal. But other than that, that's going to do it. This was a lot longer than I wanted it to be. Go away with the ad and the pop-ups. Yeah, other than that, thank you for watching. I hope you found it helpful. you can also find other videos too that will go into more detail about what all the stuff at the top is, and what all your gold and all that crap is, and all kinds of stuff. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.